Welcome back to the inaugural 2016 County Connection Show. Again, I'm your host, Scott. This is Karn, Thomas, and Dan. We're going to talk dollars and cents now. We're going to talk, to start off with the inaugural 16 episode, we're going to talk about the 2016 budget. So Thomas, talk a little bit about that.
Yeah, so Summit County operates on a calendar year budget. So our budget runs from January 1 to December 31st. So here at the end of 2015, we approved the budget for 2016. Overall, all departments, county budget is 92 million plus some change. And that involves a lot of different special funds and different activities, things like that. The general fund, which is the core government, the basic services, is a budget of about 26 million. So that gives you an idea of some of the different things that we're involved in.
So tell us what's not included in that general fund. What are some of the big departments?
So for example, we operate an ambulance system in Summit County, and that's a budget of 5 million or so a year, right? We operate the wastewater treatment plant for the entire Summit Cove and Keystone area, and that's a multi-million-dollar budget as well. We operate the Summit Stage, which is the largest single budget that we have in all of county government. That's
9 million.
That's around 9 million something, right? So there's some fairly large departments that are outside the general fund. The landfill or the Summit County Recycling and Allocation Park, right? That's another special budget. That's another special operation. Let's see. One of the important things that we're doing this year is money from the Safety First, Safety Fast approval by the voters with regards to ambulance services. The work that we're doing with both Lake Dillon and Red, White, and Blue and the Copper Mountain Metro District Fire Departments with regards to providing emergency services countywide. So we'll have a little bit over $1 million coming out of that fund this year, going towards improvements with regards to those services countywide. Also out of that fund is monies with regards to water quality programs. So there's a big reclamation program that we've got going in the Swan River Basin. As well as services at the landfill regarding the collection of household chemical waste and electronic waste and other things like that. So again, to the voters, thank you for voting yes on that fund. But overall, indications are good with regards to what we're going to experience in 16. And that's true for the state of Colorado as well.
Good. Dan, you want to talk a little bit about an award that our finance department has grown accustomed to receiving?
Yes, believe it or not, well, I shouldn't say believe it or not. This is the 27th year we've received national recognition and even international recognition from the National Finance Officers Governmental Finance Award, recognizing Summit County government for their 27 years of excellence in financial reporting. So this organization that's both United States and in Canada, otherwise known as GFOIA, has recognized Summit County once again for their excellence. And a shout out to Marty Ferris, our finance director, and our whole
who I think
team.
has worked for county finance 27 years. So I don't know if there's that's just a coincidence, or maybe Marty is just really good at it.
She must be on the board of that organization, Government Finance Officers Association. But yeah, it's great that we have had this for 27 years, but it's something that we take very seriously, and to make sure that our financial institution of Summit County government is sound, that we have strong reserves, and everything is accounted for. And it's really our finance department that really helps create that atmosphere from the start. And of course, the commissioners were there to approve a budget, but it takes a whole lot of people to really make the team work. And again, Marty Ferris and her team for really creating that environment to continue that legacy, I'd say, of 27 years is amazing.
Huge part of the public trust, again, managing those dollars that are coming in, and having an organization or a department that is focused on that and that is routinely audited and does a fine job of passing those audits with flying colors. Again, helps to build that public trust and your trust in how we as staff are using those resources. So quick jump from that to some funding, another funding source that we've got coming into the county, which is another grant, and I'll let you talk about that and provide a little background about broadband in the county.
Sure. So thank you again to the voters. This is the time of year we get to thank the voters. That's for voting for restoring our authority to have some involvement in broadband cell service that we didn't have before because of legislation that passed in 2005. We were one of over a dozen counties that passed with very high numbers a ballot measure like that, because the telecoms have mostly backed off and decided they aren't so interested in providing these services in very rural places where it's not worth their money. They can make a lot more profit putting investments into big metro areas where there are a lot more phones and devices to make money on. So anyway, our first step here is to do a study of not just the big gaps that were very much known, especially in the lower blue, where there are miles of roadway and residents that have no cell service, but we're going to take a broader look at where all the gaps are in broadband and cell service around the county, and that's our first step. So we are receiving $25,000 from Department of Local Affairs to get started on this study.
Yep, and the focus of the study, as Karin said, will be Lower Blue, Montezuma, some of the Summit Cove areas, and other areas that were identified in a regional broadband analysis that Northwest COG did a couple of years ago. That will be the focus, and then how can we leverage our resources, how can we leverage the equipment, the infrastructure that the county already owns. For example, our public safety communications towers. Are there things we can do to take advantage of those? So that will be part of this study, and again, we're fortunate to get some funding at the state level to reduce the burden for the county in general. So, all right, take a quick break. We'll be right back.